Hi everybody, this is Andy with Verbena and Sage Botanicals, and we're getting ready to make some colloidal oats soap, which is my Simply Oats out of my natural spa line. So it's going to be made with the same recipe as my regular, but with no colorants, no fragrances, and just simply colloidal oats added to it to help support the skin. So my soaps are vegan and palm free. I do use coconut oil. Gives me a good hard bar of soap without using palm oil. I don't have a problem with people who use palm oil as long as it's sustainably harvested. It's just not my demographic of people. My patrons are generally people who are vegan or vegetarian, and they really appreciate in the area that I live, which is a very rural farming area in the surrounding areas, that they can actually get something that isn't goat's milk or tallow. Not that those aren't great products also. It's just when you are a vegetarian or vegan, you are looking for things that don't have animal products in them. So now that we've got the coconut oil in there, I'm going to add my cocoa butter, which I like to use raw organic cocoa butter. And then next we're going to add shea butter, and that'll be the bulk of our hard oils and butters. Just a little bit more. Perfect. Now that it's getting warm here, I probably won't need to use the ice cream spade anymore, but I'm telling you, in the winter, ice cream spade is the way to go. Around here, we have a lot of kids that are doing the RADA fundraisers for schools, and that is exactly where I got that from. Okay, now that I have my hard oils and butters done, I am going to be mixing my lye solution. So for my lye solution, I'm going to use distilled water. And I'm going to move you guys out of the way for just a moment while I pour this, because I can't get my spout underneath there. So I do use a water discount, because we have very hard water in our area. So I do like to do a water discount because of that. Get you back over here. I also like to use, for my size batch, about an ounce of pink Himalayan salt to help firm up the bars real quickly. Just makes a harder, longer lasting bar at the end of the cure time. And I do mix that in with my lye water. And I use the heat transfer method. I can't talk today. So with the heat transfer method, what you end up doing is you use your hot lye water to melt your solid butters and oils. It looks like I'm going to need to get some lye soon. Need to put an order in for that. we'll get that going so that it gets dissolved. You always want to make sure that you're wearing your safety gear while this is happening. Make sure you're using stainless steel or the number 2 or number 5 recycling symbol on the bottom of your plastics so that they can withstand the heat. I like to use the frothing pitchers. Actually, my small ones are both in the wash right now. So I'm using one of my large ones that I use for when I do the slab molds, but that's what I have available right now without having to wash something. You can still feel some of the grit from the pink Himalayan salt on the bottom. We are going to use this lye solution to melt the butters and oils that are hard. Right. Sometimes this can take a little bit. But you do see that it's already taking, you know, the coconut oil, which was completely hard, and melting it for us. I'll bring you back in just a few minutes when this is mostly melted. All right, we are mostly melted here. I've got a few chunks of shea butter that have not melted down completely, and a couple of really small chunks of coconut oil. Those will be fine to use the immersion blender to go over those. So now I'm going to be adding my liquid oils. So we will be adding some organic castor oil. And if you're not able to use organic castor oil, I highly, highly, highly recommend using hexane-free. So just make sure that you're using the best ingredients that you're able to. I know that costs have gone up a lot for all of us. And I know sometimes you just need to use what's available. So hexane-free, you know, non-GMO oils. Next thing I'm adding is going to be avocado oil. And I like to keep my oils in, my liquid oils, I should say, in spout dispensers, with the exception of the castor oil because it's just too thick. I feel like I would have a lot of waste that way. But it makes it a lot easier for me when I am making batches. I can just grab the Clara container that I have my oils in and measure them out that way. And the last ingredient I'm going to be adding will be olive oil. And the olive oil and coconut oil make up the biggest portions of my batches. Now this batch will make one of the Amazon purple molds that everybody seems to start off with. I still use those because I like the size of the bars, and my slab molds I actually have dividers for them that will make them into the same size bowls. The other ingredient I'm going to add, which I just told you I would use on the last one, but I do like to add organic coconut milk powder to my batches as well. So I will add 2 tablespoons for one of my batches. And I do not do a heaping tablespoon. I do an even tablespoon, just like if you're mixing, you know, if you're measuring things for cooking, you want to have that real clean tablespoon measurement. Right, and let me grab the other part of my stick blender. And let's get going. You'll notice that my coconut oil little bits that were in there are already all broken up. And then my shea butter is getting broken up really easily by my stick blender. Now that I've got that mostly emulsified, or come to an emulsion, I should say, I am going to grab my scale and I'm going to weigh in 2 ounces of colloidal oats. And that's going to give us a gentle exfoliation, and you know, colloidal oats is very good for people who have sensitive skin. All right, so we are right there at 2 ounces. I will also blend that in, and I'll get it just a tiny bit finer. Not that it would need it, but I think it will. Just getting it blended in here. Burp our stick blender again. As you can see on the head of my stick blender, it is not coming, the oils are not separating, so we know we do have it to emulsion now. All of my colloidal oats have been thoroughly mixed in, so we are going to go ahead and get this in a mold. And as I said, the purple mold from Amazon is going to be what it's going to go in. And my batch will make one of these molds, and then I always have some extra, so I'll do some pretty decorative silicone molds, and I also do samples for when I'm at my markets. And for the spa soaps, my natural soaps, I like to do those in these little leaf molds. And then I have a Triskel mold that I will do samples of my regular soaps that have fragrance and mica in them. And I feel like that kind of gives a differentiation for people that are getting samples at the markets. They know if they grab a leaf that it's something that either has natural colorants and essential oils, or has no colorants and no fragrances at all in them. Did a little bit of overfill over here, but I think I can smooth it out over some of these ones that didn't get quite as much. And I'm being a messy soaper today and making a little bit of a mess for myself. Okay, and then I'm going to do, just for my extras, I am going to do some Triskels in the big mold. I do also have these in sample sizes. But I like to have something for if someone wants a decorative soap, that they've got the option of that. And I think I need one more small little mold to get the last of this stuff in. So let me see what I can find. Okay, we're going to end up doing one of these little small dragon eye molds. And with the silicone, it makes it a lot easier to get these out and still have that beautiful design down in the bottom, which ends up being the top of the soap. Alright, let's get all the bubbles out of these, get them out of the way, and I will see you back for the cutting. Alright, we are back for the cutting of the Simply Oats Colloidal Oats Soap. Nothing spectacular here, just a partial gel. It's just a very simple soap. I'll get these beveled and stamped later today. Can see the little speckles from the colloidal oats in there, so it does give it a little bit of interest. But that's all I've got. I hope y'all have a great week.